You arrived yesterday? Just
We missed you in Istanbul.
We can discuss it later. You never mentioned trilateral. Well, Javad, dear friends, it's nice to resume physical contacts, even at the distance. I believe it's a very timely meeting for us to take stock of what is going on around JCPOA. The situation is a cause of concern. There are some developments taking place right now in Vienna. There are ideas our Western friends are floating in New York, and we will be very firmly opposing any attempts to use this situation in order to manipulate the Security Council and to promote anti-Iranian agenda. We will certainly raise this point in all relevant international multilateral formats. And of course we can also exchange views on promoting further activities of the Astana format on Syria, and certainly as a follow-up to the phone conversation between our presidents in February and in April, we can exchange views on how we are doing on bilateral agenda. So once again, welcome.
Once again, dear colleagues, it's very good to be back in Moscow. Corona made it impossible for us to keep track of the number of visits that I've had to Moscow over the past 7 years, but unfortunately, Corona has created an interruption. I wanted to express our sympathy with the people of Russia, as you have with ours, about the number of casualties. Fortunately, the number of casualties both in Russia and in Iran have been relatively lower than other places, but still loss of life, affliction of individuals and families. So our sympathies and our solidarity with all those who have lost their loved ones here in Russia. As you pointed out, there are very dangerous developments surrounding JCPOA. Unfortunately, those who have been violating the JCPOA, those who have made it a policy objective of destroying JCPOA, are now trying to abuse JCPOA in order to advance the same agenda. The agenda is still the same, to destroy JCPOA, but the abuse of the process is rather astonishing. It is important for us to engage. I wanted to thank you personally for your personal efforts, for your personal letters to the Secretary General, as well as the efforts of our friend Sergei Ryabkov and your ambassadors, both in Vienna as well as in New York, in making sure that this unfortunate design by the United States and even the more unfortunate cooperation from remaining Western members of the JCPOA would not lead to a total disaster. We also, as you pointed out, should talk about developments in the agency and how simultaneously various avenues are being abused in order to undermine the JCPOA. We are concerned about certain political, economic developments in Syria, the attempts by the United States to impose further pressure, economic pressure now, on Syria is taking a toll on the Syrian people, and we should make sure that the United States, that has done everything in order to destabilize our region and Syria, would not achieve its objectives. The situation in Yemen is of great concern to us, as well as the situation in Afghanistan. We've been in close touch with you on the developments in Afghanistan, and we believe it's a good opportunity for us to review what we have done and what you have done in that regard. And of course, bilateral relations are, from our perspective, of strategic importance, and the conversations between our presidents have opened further the possibilities for cooperation, but it's good to take stock of that. So once again, thank you for your hospitality, and it's good to be back in Moscow.